Greetings everyone, my name is Sai, and last Friday I picked up my own copy of Pokemon Omega Ruby, and thus far I am having an absolute blast with it. The game is both a fantastic and faithful remake of the original Ruby and Sapphire games, while still not being afraid to update little petty annoyances and make improvements where need be. That's the best kind of remake in my mind, one that can fix what didn't work while keeping as true to the original as possible. For example, while there is still the same amount of water sections in this game as in the originals, the rate of random Pokemon encounters while surfing has been drastically reduced. And new additions like the Area Nav are an absolute godsend, allowing you to see what wild Pokemon can be caught in any particular area, as well as allowing you to capture Pokemon with perfect IVs for the hardcore fanbase. So Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire get gold stars from me, regardless of whether we're judging them as remakes or standalones. And at this point, you can say the Pokemon series as a whole has completely refined itself. Anything from the original games that didn't work has been slowly shed off over time, and only a beautiful sparkling diamond remains. But in my mind, a single petty nuisance is still there from the days of the original Red and Blue. That is, of course, the continued persistence of HM moves. So for the uninitiated who know nothing about Pokemon, what are HM moves? Well, they're specific actions that can be taught to a Pokemon that allow it to interact with gameplay in the overworld. For example, teaching a water-type Pokemon the HM Surf will allow you to ride across its back as it traverses through the water. However, to make sure that you can't go to an endgame area right away, the game artificially blocks your use of HM moves either by not giving them to you until you're ready, or by requiring certain gym badges before the move will work. Makes sense, right? Well, my complaints about the HM moves begin when you realize they take up a move slot. As you know, Pokemon can only know 4 moves at a time, and HM moves take up one of those slots. Oh, but it's okay. If you're annoyed by it, you can always replace it with another move, right? Nope. HM moves cannot be forgotten except from a very specific NPC you meet later in the game. This is to make sure that, for sake of example, if you're surfing on a Pokemon and it levels up, you can't replace its surf move, because then you and the water-type Pokemon would forget how to swim, and you'd both sink to the bottom of the ocean and die. Well, at least they're effective in battles, right? Kinda. Game Freak has been slowly making HM moves less awful over time, but they're still not great. Now, the compromise most players have for dealing with the necessity of HM moves is having a so-called HM slave. Basically a Pokemon like a Linoon that can learn a wide variety of HM moves, and keeping it in the back of your party solely for the purpose of its HM moves. So now your actual team doesn't have to bother, but in exchange, you give up a slot in your party that could potentially house a more useful Pokemon that you would care more about. So this leads me to my conclusion that HM moves are a pointless waste of time. Remember the example I gave of both you and your Pokemon sinking into the sea because you overrode its HM move? I shouldn't have to tell you how ridiculous it is that a fish could forget how to swim. So why not just make HM moves natural abilities? For example, let's say you have a Pokemon in your party that in the current system could potentially learn the HM move Rock Smash. Well, I propose that instead of making it take up a move slot, how about it's just something the Pokemon can do? Like, you walk up to a rock and it breaks it, no specialized move required. Game Freak could still gate your use of it by requiring you have a specific badge first, and then it wouldn't take up a slot. It's such a simple and elegant solution, and I don't understand why it has not been implemented by now. Heck, with the introduction of the Eon Flute, they've essentially already made the HM move Fly obsolete, so why not go the extra mile and just get rid of all HM moves? But I'm curious what you guys think. Do you agree with me in thinking that HM moves are worthless, or do you think they add to the game in some way? I mean, I can't think of a positive aspect of them, but maybe you can. So if you have an idea, leave a comment and let me know. Either way, thank you guys very much for watching. Please do thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because it really does help me out a lot. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.